Hello everyone. So as many of you know, on the 16th of this month I will be going live with the Hypermobility Syndromes Association for the first in a series of monthly occupational therapy chats. I thought before that happens I'd better have a practice just to check that this does actually work and you can hear me and see me. So if you're out there, please do just kind of join in. I want to talk to you a bit about what it is that I do, and answer some sort of frequently asked questions about what I do really and how it works. So, as many of you know, I'm an independent occupational therapist, and I work mainly with people who have long-term conditions. I do things like teaching them how to live well with their conditions, and basically it's a series of kind of pain and fatigue management stuff, and I do a lot of sort of acceptance, dealing with anxiety. What else do I do? Sleep hygiene, joint protection, and basically how to adapt your life to meet whatever energy and pain levels you have. I have been doing that since September when I qualified, so I went straight into private practice, which I think is a bit unusual, and I'm going to tell you why I did. I live with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, postural tachycardia, complex migraines and visual stress. What that basically means is that I had to know what I was doing with my career for quite a long time before I started. There are a lot of aspects of traditional occupational therapy work that I just can't do. So, I struggle with moving and handling. I need flexible working hours, and that doesn't always work with NHS services. So I guess really knowing that I was going to be working my own set hours and knowing that I knew what it was like to be a patient gave me a lot of insight into what was needed in terms of therapies that weren't really out there. So at the moment I am working via video chat primarily. My office is anywhere with a closed door and a webcam and stable Wi-Fi. My most popular class at the moment is my pacing masterclass. What I do there is basically run through some pacing tools and tips and then help whoever I'm working with to problem solve any issues they're having with pacing. It's really rewarding for me because in just a 30-minute appointment I can work through pacing theory, give somebody handouts and problem solve any issues they're already having without either of us needing to leave our homes. So for me, being able to work, a lot of you probably listening to this have chronic fatigue. You know what it's like when you really just can't face the world and don't want to get out of bed, but you have to for medical appointments. But with me, you don't. So you can stay in bed and we'll have an appointment and we'll both be in pajamas and it doesn't matter because the work is still getting done. You're still learning. I'm still doing my job. Does that really need to be in a hospital? And from my point of view, the answer is no. So I guess a lot of what I'm all about as a therapist is helping people to access therapies without needing to go anywhere. So I can help you learn to manage your pain without you leaving your house, without either of us getting dressed. Pajamas, not like nude. And for me it's really, really rewarding because people who would normally massively struggle to get to hospital and to access the kind of therapies that are on offer don't have to struggle, and it's much easier, which leaves all of your energy left over for physiotherapy, pacing, cooking, looking after yourself, maybe even having a social life. And I think that's fantastic. And for me, every time I see a patient, and we'll quite possibly never meet in the real world. Maybe half my patients so far are people I've actually met in the real world, which I don't think is something that most therapists can say. But for me, I think it's fantastic. Why do I need to be in the same room as somebody? I guess the answer is I don't. I just had a question pop up about contacting me for appointments. Basically, if you drop me an email, it's hello@jboccupationaltherapy.co.uk. We'll sort it out. Or you can tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram me, Pinterest, whatever else, social media. All of my social media platforms are at JBOT Therapy. So I hope that answers your question. I'm kind of flexible and informal with appointments, so if you want your entire appointment done via email, that's absolutely fine. I can work with that. Yeah, whatever you need, I aim to provide. And if I can't provide it, then I will be honest and tell you that I'm not the right therapist for you, and hopefully help you find somebody who is the right therapist for you. So I hope that answers your question. Something else I was going to talk about, I get asked a lot by current occupational therapy students how I manage my health and my job, and if I had to make any reasonable adjustments. Basically, for me, being able to manage my health is my primary concern. I didn't ever think I'd be able to work full time after I got my diagnosis. I think in my entire life I've done 2 weeks that would constitute full-time work. And that was before being diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos and any of the other stuff that I have. So I knew if I was going to work, it had to be something that was worth it for me. So something really kind of, I don't know, really enjoyable, but also really meaningful. I don't have the energy to spare sitting somewhere doing a job that I hate. And I also think my skills are best put to use in a situation where I can impart some of what I've learned to others. Doing my degree, I was at the University of Northampton, and they were fantastic. My final placement, I went into an office once every 2 weeks. That's it, once every 2 weeks. Most of my placement work was done from my laptop on the sofa or in bed or from my phone in the car, and that suited me fantastically because it meant I could put so many more hours in because I wasn't using my energy on things like travelling, getting dressed, wearing a uniform that doesn't meet my needs. You know, and it was fantastic to be able to go somewhere and, as a wheelchair user and as a disabled person, do a job that many people didn't think I could do. So, yeah, basically a lot of my reasonable adjustments revolved around making my job more flexible. It was quite complicated to find placements for me, to say the least, and the Northampton team did fantastically for that, and I'm eternally grateful to Limitless Travel taking me on, not only as a student but also as a therapist now. It is possible to do a job when you can't work full-time hours, when you can't lift heavy things, when you can't lift not so heavy things, and I just want to kind of almost like a shout out really to OT students out there now, because I do get quite a few get in touch with me wondering if it's possible for them to do the job, and it definitely is. I, at my absolute worst, I guess my most kind of unfit for life, I was a full-time wheelchair user, whereas now I'm part-time, so I can park my chair and wander around. There have been times where I've had to be hoisted temporarily in hospital. I am not ashamed to admit the fact that I quite frequently have help with personal care. Not being able to get out of the bath has nothing to do with my ability to be an occupational therapist. And actually, I think it helps in some situations, because when a patient says to me, it's so awful, I'm really embarrassed, I need help doing this and that, I can genuinely say I understand, and that's something that I think is really meaningful and amazing, to be honest. I kind of wish more medical professionals would have the opportunities that I've had to say to people, I understand, I get it, and I think really that's brilliant. So in terms of reasonable adjustments, it is hard, but it's totally worth it. Persevere, have flexible hours, fidget, lay on the floor in public, be as awkward as possible when it comes to setting placements, if that's what it takes to get you to a place where you're qualified and out there working. Yeah, I guess that's it really. The one thing I would like to just extra shout out before I stop this, I will be doing this again, hopefully. If you found it useful, let me know. And I will be saving the video so you can watch it again later. It's really just kind of my practice at talking live. With the Hypermobility Syndromes Association, on the 16th, which is in 6 days' time, I will be doing a live occupational therapy chat for an hour starting at 7 p.m. During the chat, I've got 5 questions that have been asked in advance. I will also be taking questions live if there's time. So, if you have any occupational therapy questions about managing your hypermobility syndromes, helping your kids, dealing with it at work and school, tune in, listen to what I've got to say, and then ask questions if you're not getting them answered. I think this is going to be a really, really good event, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I do hope you'll come. If you've got any questions you desperately want answered, do ask in advance. Let me know. And I will try to answer all your questions, basically. Don't worry if I don't get round to it. There's always next month. I'm hoping this will be a monthly thing. So yeah, lovely talking to you all. Hopefully that's been interesting or useful or whatever. If you do have any questions, either comment below or drop me a message or a tweet or an email or anything else. Social media is amazing because it means I can get in touch with people in loads of different ways. If you need any extra adjustments for communications, just let me know. I'm happy to do things via video clip, voice chat, text message, email, as many formats as I can possibly do at the moment. It's been lovely talking to you all, so thanks for listening. Bye.